Ladies and gentlemen, Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles, and we have a visitor, a friend, someone
Yes.
I've known for some time. Her name is Shanda Freeman. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
If you're not familiar with that name, you may know her from a show she used to do with my brother Fat Man Scoop called Man and Wife.
Yes.
That was a fun show.
Yeah,
when,
it was.
When you guys were married.
Yes, when we were married.
And you guys are now...
Separated.
Just separated, not divorced.
Yes, we're not fully disconnected as yet.
Friends?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely, yes.
Well,
yes.
walk me through Separated. Now, you're here to talk about your book,
Yes.
Pro Man, Pro Wife, but is Separated like we're taking a break and figuring this out, or is Separated the precursor to divorce?
Separated precursor to divorce.
So it's going to happen.
Yes. Yes.
And because he's my friend and my family, I don't even want to ask more
Right.
questions than that.
Okay.
Like, because obviously you want
We're
to...
still very close. We're still friends, and we support each other's goals. And ultimately, he wants me to be happy, and I want him to be happy.
But I guess, I'm thinking about the listeners listening right now, and they're like,
Yeah.
what happened?
I know.
Somebody
they do.
cheated on somebody? Or
No,
was it
not
just-
that I know of, no.
So this was just like things had ran its course.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Interesting.
But Shanda's here so positive with a big smile, and it just
Yeah.
makes me feel good that you're saying, okay, yes, things didn't work out, but we're still
Yeah.
very good friends.
We're still very close, and to me, the friendship is important, and it's important to him, and neither one of us are in a bitter place, and I think that's important, and that we're both able to be like, okay, it didn't work, and we wish each other the best, and we move on.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you have this book, Pro
Yes.
Man,
Pro Man, Woman,
which
yes.
by title says that you're a woman who is pro man.
Absolutely.
And
I
like in
always have been.
complete support of like uplifting the man.
Absolutely.
Talk-
Always have been.
But why is that a thing? I think a lot of women are like that, aren't they, or no?
I think a lot of women are not pro man.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, when I speak with my girlfriends, we always talk about how men drive them crazy, or this relationship put me through this. And there's a lot of cynicism and negativity that is associated with men in relationships because we've been hurt so much. But for me, the book took it in a direction where as a woman, I have to take accountability for my relationship. So if I'm with someone that's not feeding me emotionally and physically, what does that say about me? Because any partner I have is a reflection of my choice. And if
Right.
they're not making me happy, then what am I saying about myself that I'm staying in this kind of relationship?
Well, Laura, maybe I'm listening to you and I'm going, well, maybe women are making bad choices because they feel like there's limited supply, or they can't find the type of man that they're looking for, or maybe what they're looking for in a man isn't what men actually are. Like I hear a lot of women, they say, I'm looking for this, and this. And I'm like, well, that sounds like a woman. You're looking for female support. You're not looking for a man. You're looking for a woman.
Women are oftentimes looking for a lot of emotional support.
Right. And that's what I mean. You're looking
Yeah.
for a girlfriend.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're looking for a boyfriend, that's something else. But you just,
Right.
you would rather be, but... So I guess what I'm saying to you is the women that I've had in my life have always been very supportive of me, and it would be...
And that's good.
And it would be up to me to, because I feel like women are always looking to support a man as long as that man is great to them. You know what I mean? As long as that man is showing and reciprocating a love to them and being equally supportive. I've always felt like women are
Right.
very supportive.
And I've always felt
That's
like that
good.
too. I always felt like when I'm in a relationship, I like to take care of my man. And when I mean take care of him, support his career.
Right.
And you know what I mean? It's like whether it's every now and then, to cook for him. I just want to make sure that we're both taking care of each other.
Absolutely.
And it's
And
balanced.
I think that for me, for my voice for the book was, there's so much out here in terms of love and relationship books. Everyone has a book. But for myself, I wanted to go in a direction where, as a woman, I wanted to empower men. I wanted to talk openly and unedited, uncensored about sex and intimacy. There are certain chapters in the book where I talk about, loving a man not just for what he can do for you, but and not what he can buy for you and that kind of stuff. Because a lot of times we women have a very high standard with men. Like, we want these bags and these shoes and these clothes. And
But
it
that's all
sometimes can
material
overshadow. Yeah,
nonsense.
but it is. But a lot of women are caught up into that. So, I discussed those kind of things. But I felt like as a woman, I wanted to go into a direction that I didn't want to say what men need to do. But as a woman, this is what we need to do as well.
And do you feel like this book is going to reinforce an idea that's going to ultimately help the woman find the type of relationship that she's looking for?
I do. I feel like ultimately our happiness is by choice. And just like we choose a partner, we have to choose to be happy. And if we're in relationships for a long time that don't service our happiness, we have to look at ourselves and be accountable to that. And that's the book really stresses that, about being accountable to our choices.
It seems the women, though, that you speak of that are into these material things, the shoes, the bags, the cars, the what the man can buy for them type, are also into types of men that appear to be good for them, like their appearance is good, when in reality those men might be bad for them, but because they look a certain way and can buy, so it's all surface, it's all bullshit, right? Like it's not the real parts of the relationship that matter, because when that money runs out and when those looks, because everybody's looks are going to change,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
You then are left with, do you love who this person is?
Exactly.
And
so that's
I
what I
find,
go into.
Right. I find women who are very surface and material, which there are a lot of people like that, not even just women, because that's why women are running around getting fake boobs and fake asses and liposuction and plastic surgery, is because they are trying to attract men who only care about the surface.
Exactly.
And you find that those people a lot of times are in unhealthy relationships because
all the time
the premise that they started on was surface and shallow.
And a lot of times we repeat the same type of relationship with different people. So that mirrors something going on with us. Like, okay, why do I keep, selecting this type of man or this type of woman? So again, the book addresses you as a person, like what's going to make you happy. And even for myself, I had to learn that how I love may not be how my man loves.
Is that part of why you're no longer married?
I think that when you're brought up in a home a certain way, and your representation of what love is instilled in you very early.
Yes, it is.
And I think that when you become an adult and you get into relationships, those things come into play. So I think there were definite differences between how I look at certain aspects of love and he looks at it. So will I say that there were differences there? Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it just, I guess, it's tough for me because, I'm not married. I've never been married. I've never even proposed to a woman, but I'm having a child with a woman, and we live together.
Heard. Congratulations.
Right? And we decided to do that kind of because of what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Where we grew up in environments that the marriages did not work out, and they weren't healthy.
Right.
And we felt like, okay, well, is that because of the idea of marriage, or is that because the individuals that were involved? And because we're still like searching for what that answer might be, and we've been seeing each other and loving each other for a time, we said, you know what? Let's just start a family and not put the pressure of marriage on it. But our commitment is actually greater than marriage. Our commitment is to a family and a child.
Absolutely.
So we decided to go that route. But it is interesting that social pressure and social expectations become a part of your conversation when you're making a commitment to someone else, because now you start thinking about, well, what do my friends think, or what are my family gonna think, or, and really at the end of the day, it's not about any of that.
It's about you two.
Yeah,
it's really about you two, and I stress that a lot too. Like, oftentimes we take on generational tones in our relationship, what we see and what we've experienced as children. And even as a woman,
or culture or religion or whatever,
even as a woman, I can see how my mom and my grandmother dealt with men in relationships, and that could be a reflection on how I deal with things. But I've learned that over time, there's no one thing bigger than me and my man, and there's nobody that should be able to penetrate that. And if I'm getting advice, it has to be from people that I respect their relationship, and their relationship empowers me by setting an example to me. So when I'm getting advice from people, it's important to get it from people that, you know what, you look at them and say, they seem very happy, their kids are in a great place, so I value what they have to say. But when you start taking opinions from people that really don't matter, or whose own house is a mess, that's not good. To me, that's not really great.
Do you feel like, well, you have this book, Pro Man Woman, and do you feel like you're gonna have people that might judge you because now you weren't successful in this marriage or whatever, now you have a book about being a pro man woman? Do you feel like?
I'll be honest with you. I wrote this book during the time of my separation, and I knew that I could be angry and upset and cynical, but at the end of the day, I still want a productive and loving relationship. And I knew that deep down that there were things about myself that I had to change. So the book is really just about, is there anyone out there that has a degree in love? No, because we're all searching. We all learn in love.
And some professionals who
Yeah.
consider themselves professionals
They're
have
just-
shitty relationships.
Exactly. So, the story of love is infinite. But if you read my book and it evokes an emotion and it causes you discernment and you look at yourself, then I've done the right thing as a writer.
Give me one thing. You said there were things about you that you had to deal with. Give me the thing. What is the thing? Tell me.
Things about myself that I
Yes,
needed to change.
yeah.
I absolutely needed to change. I have this thing about me that I question. And sometimes maybe I don't need to question. Like if something is done to me, I don't want to know I want to know why you did it. Like give me the reason why. And that goes back to me being a child because my parents always question us. So I'm always questioning, and maybe I'm realizing maybe I don't need to just question everything. Some things I need to just let go. I also
But then
had
that feels like, it almost sounds weak to me. Like you.
and I'm not weak, but there are times that maybe I need to pull back because I have a very strong personality. And the world didn't always see that when I was filming in the past with him, but I've always had to edit myself and censor myself. So, I'm very vocal and I'm very opinionated. And maybe sometimes I need to learn to just be quiet.
You think? I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
don't like that, man. I don't like that
either.
at all. I don't
I
want to
think
hear a
so.
woman. I don't want to hear a woman. And because and I guess I'm super sensitive because black women have this whole like image that's portrayed to them of being mouthy and bitter and
Yes,
aggressive.
absolutely.
And you know what? Honestly, if you can't handle that in a black, like I've never had that problem. Like if a black woman has something to say to me, let's talk about it. Let's get into it because I'm
Right.
the same way. Let's be aggressive. And
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to do a verbal back and forth with a woman just because she's got an attitude. I feel like with a black woman, I can break that down.
Right.
Because what that is a tough outer shell, but really on the inside is they're
Right.
super soft. And they put out this image of being tough and having an attitude because they are afraid for you to really know
Right.
that inside they just want to be loved and cut, which is why they always sitting around listening to slow ass R&B love songs all the time. Black women love music, so you
Yes.
can't sit up and tell me that black women don't love and want
But
to be
listen,
loved and hugged.
I'm definitely not a woman that I would edit myself. What I'm saying is I think there are times I needed to back down.
yeah, but I don't.
There
like
are times, but there are times that I can concede. I don't have to win all the time.
Okay.
Do you
Fair
feel
enough.
that that was one of the key things that hurt your relationship? That you didn't back down enough?
No.
So why do you feel like you should have done it?
I think that moving forward, those are things that I'm conscious of because I am so opinionated. Also, too, my anger. I had to learn to bring that down. I can be combative, and I know that I can be combative. So I had to bring my anger down. Now,
Was it anger or you just wanted to be a contrarian and combative? Because that's different. Being angry is different than being combative.
I'm more positive all the time than negative. But there are points in my relationship where it got to where I felt I wasn't being heard, or certain things weren't being respected that we discussed. So it would bring my anger to a certain level, and then it gets to being combative. But now I feel like if I have to go there with a person, then I'm reevaluating even if I should be in this, because
I'm
I don't want
absolutely the
to.
same
I
way.
just,
Right.
I'm like, why do I have to go
If I'm
through-
arguing with you the same way that I would argue with a nigga on the street, you don't need to be in my personal life.
Exactly.
Or
And that's,
if she's told him numerous times how she feels and she's not being respected, then I
Yes.
understand walking away.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Shanda
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
the book Pro Man Woman.
Pro man, woman. Yes.
Is there anything else in this book? The sex, you hit
Yes.
sex a lot.
Yes.
Is that something that you feel needs to be addressed with women? Like they're not having great sex out here, or they need like talk about it? Because
I think that women are definitely now more vocal about what they want and definitely are assertive in what they want. But I think too that in doing interviews for the book, there are a lot of men that are in long-term marriages and relationships that are not getting all the time the things that they want without a fight, or without a conversation having to take place, or without an attitude.
Give me an example.
Can I be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. One chapter I dedicate completely only to head, because men oftentimes, in long-term relationship or marriages are not always getting that, or have to ask for that. So in that chapter, I talk about you should do that without a problem. You shouldn't have head without a headache. That
Right.
kind of stuff. So, and I have friends who are like, I'm not doing that, or it's not his birthday, or I'm not doing
And
that.
they never did it, period?
They've done it, but over time, it just doesn't get done like it should.
Don't even suck me off if you don't love it. Like,
Well,
don't
that's
even
what I
bother.
say. It's like, he walk away with his, with his pants zipped up and his bottom lip. Like, it doesn't, you have to be in it and wanting to do it for him to get off on it, because it's mental too. So,
Of course.
Yeah. So, I talk
Oh,
about.
Lord Styles. Talk that talk, mama.
Shut up. I hate having this convo with you. Not with you.
Look how he cheeses.
I just, to me, I don't understand that, because I'm just
Well, I don't
speaking
either, because I've
personal
always been
experience.
pro head. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Stuff right here.
Yeah.
No, and you know what's funny is that we had this conversation with one of my girlfriends recently, where she was just like, you know what, I just decided that I'm not interested. I'm like, well, do you
Yeah, a
give
lot of
head to
women-
get head?
Yeah.
And she's like, that's the only reason I do it.
No, I think, and I'm being honest, like, I enjoy it.
Right.
I enjoy the reaction. I enjoy the spontaneity of it. I just love doing it. So I don't know if a lot of women are like me, but I think that in my relationships, men have loved that. And I think there's power in that, when as a woman you enjoy doing it. So I put that in the book because I thought it would be great to put that in the book. So, and it's me uncensored.
Yo, y'all need to go buy this book.
And
you
I
know
talk
what? That's
about
something
hand
else-
jobs. I talk about jerking a man off too.
Something else just dawned on me while you sitting here talking though.
What?
Because you're going through a separation, and you got this book coming out. Dudes is gonna be flocking to your door.
I don't think so.
Fuck out of here, Shanda.
I
This is
don't.
me.
I don't think so.
Don't try to play
I
insane
swear,
coy and shit
I'm
with
not.
me.
I swear to you, I don't think so.
So you don't think that there's no piece of you that knows that when this book hits? Well,
No,
it's out
because
now.
in Scoop he'll put a check by it. The idea for this book came when we were at MTV. I had a book deal. It was part of my deal. It just never went through. And also too, as a wife, I knew that if I wrote that, how would he deal with it? Like, yo, your wife is talking about swallowing and she's talking about all this stuff. I felt like it put him in a weird position. So for me to do the book now, it's completely Shanda. I'm unedited, I'm uncensored. And anyone that intimately knows me, I'm like a dude. I speak a certain way. I can curse.
But I would feel like that's how Scoop met you, and that's why he loved you. That's what
exactly
he loved about you.
But privately. But I can't, as his wife, sit here with you guys, say, yeah, I just sucked him off and swallowed him on the way here. That's not something that a lot of men.
Did you?
Oh yeah, there are plenty times. He was very spoiled. He was very.
Scoop used to come in skipping through. He was coming scared. We was always wondering, why you hollering so much, my G? Oh, I know now. I know why you was hollering. Oh.
Exactly.
Where is the book available?
Amazon.com and Barnesandnoble.com, and it's Kindle and Nook formatted as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yo,
Oh,
Shanda, thank you for coming.
You're so crazy. I talk
Yo.
about squirting too.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.